I don't want to say I'm confident this round, because every time I get confident, something fucking insane happens, and like people start lying. But I have a plan this round as far as like what I want, and what I want is Bruce to go out this round, and if not Bruce, then Jonah. And here's how I plan to do that. I'm gonna tell. So it seems from the matter that Marvin is by far the most skeptical of where Bruce is going to vote tonight, which is fine. Chrisanne and Susie don't seem to be skeptical, and they think that Bruce and Jonah are both going to vote each other. If that's the case, then, well, because what I want to do is have me and Marvin vote Bruce, and then Chrisanne and Susie vote Jonah, so that it's a 2-2 split. Doesn't have to necessarily be those people, but make it a 2-2 split on those two. And then oh my gosh, sorry. What I was saying before was that Chrisanne and Susie, I think, wouldn't, if I said that they're going to vote each other, that Bruce is going to vote Jonah and Jonah's going to vote Bruce, then I think they would feel like that makes sense. Marvin is not going to think that makes sense, because he thinks that they're both going to vote for Marvin, for him. But here's what I want to do. I want to play the block of vote on Morgan. And the reason I want to do that is because if, of the four of us, me, Marvin, Susie, and Chrisanne, we make a 2-2 split on Bruce and Jonah, and then if Bruce and Jonah each vote Marvin, that would make me, Susie, and Chrisanne the only people voting in the revote, and we can basically decide who goes home. I don't think either of Chrisanne or Susie would vote Marvin. I honestly, no, I definitely don't think Chrisanne would at this point. So in that case, I'm probably going to vote for Bruce, and then Chrisanne would vote for Jonah, and then it'd be up to Susie to decide who goes home. But in that case, Bruce either goes out of the game or loses a number, and there's really nothing they can do about it. The only thing that I would have to make sure about is that Chrisanne and Susie both vote either Jonah or Bruce, and they are sure of who's voting where. Like, we make it very clear, okay, these two people are going to vote Bruce, these two people are going to vote Jonah. I think it's going to be a big move, because I have literally not told anyone about that this whole game, except for Tommy, but he's out. And Lauren? No, I didn't tell Lauren. So if Marvin is being skeptical and saying, hey, why don't we all just vote Jonah, I can go to him and say, hey, I have a block of vote. This is how it's going to work. Assuming he keeps that secret, which I don't think he has any reason to not keep it secret, then assuming there's no like extra vote or another block of vote played, we have like a guaranteed way to get either Jonah or Bruce out this round. It's kind of crazy, but I think it could work. So that's just tonight. In the game, I'm happy. I made it to Final 6. That's the farthest I've made in a Survivor game. Woo-hoo.
All right. So, like, you mentioned you made it to the Final 6. Woohoo! Yay! You tied my placement.
Let's get it.
In a specific order that we don't talk about.
Precisely.
What?
I gotta stop and get balloons, because I think I know what the challenge is going to be, but we'll see.
All right.
Sorry.
I don't think you touched up on this, but we're in the Final 6. We're close to the end game. The game is set to end literally next week. What is your overall goal? who do you want to sit in the end with? And are you someone that rather sits next to someone who's played the game and you think you can, it's an even fair chance, or someone that you're going to win over?
Here's the thing. I legitimately don't, like, if I'm able to make it to the end based on the people who are in the jury right now, I feel like the only person I could potentially lose to is Morgan, just because she had like a really good social game. Because from the people that are in the jury, who are Corey, Tanner, Tommy, and Lauren right now, right? That's it. Think so? Yeah. I'm pretty sure if I'm in the end, I'll have Corey, Tommy, and Lauren's vote. Unless I'm next to Marvin, which in that case would be a little interesting. And if Marvin's in the jury, that's probably another vote, which means I would just need to flip one more person. And if I'm sitting next to somebody who's been like either lying the whole game or not playing the game the whole game, then I feel like I would have a good chance against them, because I could say, hey, I've been playing the entire time and I've been extremely upfront about what I want to do every single round, while these other people have not. I was able to play a much cleaner game, and I think I could also emphasize the fact that, like, hey, at this point, I'm in Final 6, and there's literally only been 2 rounds I could have been voted out. So, like, there you go.
Let's talk about last night's challenge. Touchy subjects. Do you, in your eyes, you've mentioned in chats, you've talked to people, you're like, oh, this challenge is going to open up people's eyes. Do you think in your eyes, do you think people have opened up to the reality of what's going on in this game?
I think people opened up to the reality at the last tribal, and then this just kind of confirmed everything. Honestly, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that if the blow up last tribal didn't happen, then I wouldn't have won this challenge, because everyone else might be thinking something different than because what was said at the tribal seemed to reflect the answers that people said. Things like Susie being the biggest goat, Bruce being the biggest liar, Jonah thinking he's running the game but he's not. Things like that. So as far as if it opened up new discussions, I think I'll say maybe like the tribal before started a conversation, and then touchy subjects finished the conversation. It confirmed everything that was said.
Okay. So you mentioned like, oh, you might need to you're gonna have to get balloons. In your eyes, what do you think this next challenge is going to be?
I know BB Disney did a challenge like this where they had to build basically a cup tower with the cups facing up instead of down, and then they would have to blow up a balloon or stick a deflated balloon into the opening of the cup, blow it up in order to hold on to the cup, and then place it down, and then basically stack those cups, and if the tower falls, you have to rebuild it. Like, I'm hoping that's what it is. I don't really know what else a balloon could be used, especially if there are cups involved. And if it is that challenge, I feel like I could have a good chance at that. Do I want to win it? I don't really know, because there is the chance I will be. I'm probably already seen as a physical threat, considering the fact that I've technically won four individual immunity challenges. Although 2 of them were team based, but whatever. But at this point, I have nothing to lose. My back is up against the wall. and I just got to go for it, and that's basically it.
All right. Well, we shall see because I cannot confirm or deny anything when it comes to challenges in this game.
Of course.
I don't have any more questions for you. The VL does not have questions for you, unfortunately.
So rude.
Before we end the recording, do you have any last minute things you would like to add on?
You cut out. Sorry, you say that again?
I said before we end the recording, is there any last minute things you would like to add?
Like I don't know. Let the record show I'm not giving up. I've never given up. I'm gonna keep playing this game for as long as I can. This feels like the hardest game I've ever had to play, despite the fact that I've only really been a target a couple times. It's just the nature of this game, and if nothing else, I just hope that there's a winner that I can be satisfied with. So we'll see.
Great.